All right, awesome. So everybody's in here, welcome. So today the class I was going to be going over and covering is doing your lead gen in Command. So as you may know, um, you can actually create really awesome Facebook ads through Command using the campaigns. And through campaigns, you can use that to actually do lead gen. So it's very simple. We're going to work on one today. And if I have enough time, I also want to go into some of the direct marketing, because there is some pieces in Command that you can actually do, not just your digital marketing, but your direct mailings as well, which I think is also really cool. But to get started, the thing you want to make sure about with Command and Facebook is you want to make sure that you have a Facebook business page created. So as long as you have a Facebook business page created, you're pretty much good to go. And we're going to be working primarily with one applet today. That's campaigns. So we're not going to be kind of moving around too much. We're going to be just working primarily with campaigns. I also might go into contacts a little bit because there's some things that I want to show in there in regards to how the leads are routed. And if I do kind of slow down as I'm doing this, it might just be because I'm stopping to let somebody in. So do not mind me. You know, it looks like there's still people kind of jumping in here, but let's get started. So the way I'm going to get started, I'm just going to click on my red button here, as you can see, and I want to click into campaigns. So that's where we're going to start. So under campaigns, as you can see, we have my campaigns dashboard now. So if you haven't been in campaigns in the last few weeks or so, maybe even longer, you would most likely notice this when you first jump into campaigns. It's a new dashboard. And what's really cool about this dashboard is it lets you kind of like quick connect to all your different channels. And it also gives you some ability to put together quick posts. So as you can see, I do have the ability to create a neighborhood video that I can post, or some nice little graphics around the consumer app, which will brand it with my information and my app link here, which is great. And this can be easily posted directly to your business page as a non-paid post. So think of these as just like your regular Facebook business page posts. And these are going to be auto-generated, so you don't even have to do anything in regards to the content. It's gonna make the copy and the graphic. And I can shuffle through this as well. As you can see, there's quite a few different graphics to choose from, which is awesome. And I think as they kind of move forward with this system, they'll probably have some other ones in there, like for listings or just solds. Could be other ones as well. I know they had holiday ones at one point. But for now, they're going to be primarily focused on the consumer app. So I just wanted to show that real quickly. Another really awesome thing in here, if you haven't seen it already, is the tips and training section, which is going to give you some nice little help articles and videos that are pertaining to campaigns in Command. And they do have advanced ones as well. So if you're a little bit more tech savvy, you can use this to kind of see any other types of things: newsletter campaigns, tracking campaign results, etc. Now, I don't actually have any campaigns running, but you would also get some expanded analytics here, which are also really nice. So if you happen to have made any ads in the past couple weeks or few weeks or so, you might see you have expanded analytics here, which is great. Now, the first thing we want to do is make sure that we have our business profile connected. And the way we can do that, as you can see, we can just hit connect more accounts. And I do currently have my account connected. So if you notice that yours isn't connected, or if you want to connect additional accounts, you can actually do that here as well. Previously, you were only able to connect one. So now if you're managing pages on a different personal profile, you can connect an additional Facebook page in here as well. Pretty useful. But once you connect this, you'll have that connected as a channel, which you can then use for your paid advertising. So we're going to work on a Facebook ad today. And this is probably one of my favorite applets and command. I like it a lot. They did so many improvements to it over the past few months. And I feel like right now it's very, very much well optimized to be as user friendly as it could be. And I think that's really cool. So let's get started. We're going to go into create a campaign or create a new campaign. And I do see some stuff in chat. Do you connect your business page or your regular account? So it's going to pull from your personal account, which would essentially look for any of the business pages that you manage. So you'll see as I go through what it's going to do. Cool. All right. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and click on this button here, create a new campaign, and it's going to bring up a card with all the different types of campaign options available currently. Now, what you can currently see here, I have my social ads, which is going to be for my Facebook advertising, Twitter advertising. You do have Google search or Google AdWords as well. I haven't really played around with this too much, but I know you can also do that if you do have an AdWords account. Social posts, that's going to be for scheduling and posting just your standard non-paid or non-sponsored Facebook posts. I'll probably go into that a little bit after the campaigns that we do for social ads. And then direct mail and email, these are the ones I mentioned earlier. Within regards to direct mail, you can use this to set up your postcards and have those mailed out to a specific radius. If I have enough time, I do want to just cover that real briefly because I think it's really cool. What's the name for Google? If you're referring to search ad, that's for the Google AdWords. And then we do have emails in here. Currently with the emails, it does require you have a MailChimp account. So if you're running a MailChimp account and you want to connect with Command, you can use that for email campaigns right now. And they do have a couple templates available for newsletters. Those are the only ones they have right now, but they are pretty useful. I like them a lot. I use them for my email campaigns. So if you ever get an email from me, it's most likely coming out from Command right now. All right, so that will cover the main types of campaigns you can create. Let's go ahead and click on social ad. And we're going to name this, let's go ahead and name this test campaign. And today is June 3rd. Wow, we're already in June. And it is Wednesday, so happy Wednesday. We're almost to the weekend. So next up it's going to ask is, what is your campaign goal? So what am I trying to accomplish with this ad? So you see here, it does have quite a few objectives you can choose from. In my experience, attracting buyers has been the one that has been working the best for agents, but they do have multiple types of objectives here. And depending on the objective you choose, there is some AI powering the backend that will give you some nice little suggestions on the type of verbiage you should use. And that's also very helpful if you're just looking to create something right away. But I'm going to use this one here where it says attract buyers. And we're just going to click on that. And you'll notice it's going to say here right underneath, find buyers who are looking for agents to help them purchase a home. And if you click on any of the other ones, it will have different verbiage, as you can see, just to kind of give you an idea of what is going to be done with that objective. Now for the channels, you can see here, where will this campaign run? You have 3 options currently: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now with Facebook, typically it does cross post to Instagram as well. But if you want to create a separate Instagram ad, you can also do that. You can run it as a story. You can run it as just a regular Instagram feed post. We're going to focus primarily on Facebook today, because I know some agents don't use Instagram too much. But just be aware that Facebook typically will run an ad directly to Instagram as well. And they are owned, so they are essentially owned by the same company, Facebook. Cool. So let's go ahead and hit that Facebook box. We're going to check it off. We're going to hit Setup Campaign. And then it's going to bring me into this screen here. So it's going to essentially outline all the different things we need to fill out right now. So everything right now is currently blank. Here's the preview on the right-hand side. We don't have anything in there yet, but we're going to fill it out. And I just want to ask for a volunteer who wants to shout out or put in chat a listing I can choose from. Just any address. Could be under contract, could be sold, could be newly listed, whatever you want. Somebody wants to post
252 Grace Avenue, Secaucus.
It's my favorite one.
Yoo-hoo, me too.
Get this, but we got to get this one sold. So Grace Ave, really awesome property. I'm going to go ahead and choose that as the listing here. We'll go ahead and use this one. So we're going to use Grace Ave as the example here. As you can see, once we select the listing, it does auto-populate the copy as well. So we already have some sort of text to work with, and I might not use all of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and just delete some of this out. You know, welcome to this wonderful move-in ready semi-open home, originally owned and built by the family. The home features 4 bedrooms and 3 full baths in a great neighborhood. I think that's really nice copy. And then we can say, contact me today for more information. And then I might leave my phone number. So what I'm also been told and what I've been hearing is that if you have a number in the verbiage, if somebody is looking at this from their mobile device, it will actually allow them to dial out, which is pretty awesome. So if you're looking to have phone calls as well, you can put that in the main copy, because at the current moment, you can't actually have a call to action lead to a phone number. So you can put the phone number in the main copy, and that can be like a little workaround for now. So that looks good. I like the copy. And let's move to the headline text here. So this is Secaucus. And let's put for the headline, what is, or we can say something like, can you see yourself in this home? Ooh, what's this Grammarly thing here? Get rid of that. So nice little headline text there, just something to kind of catch the eye a little bit more. Can you see yourself in this home? We have our nice little set of copy here in the main copy. And then for our description text, I'm going to put click the learn more button for more information about this property. So now we're just putting in a little bit of text to kind of let people know what exactly the learn more button is going to do for them. So again, we're just trying to lead the eye to this particular space. And at the default, it's always going to be a learn more button, as you can see. And I usually suggest keeping it like that. I mean, the only other ones they have is sign up, and I believe it's off the top of my head, let me just see, learn more, sign up, and contact us, which it looks like they actually added a new one in there. That's cool. Let's see what that does. Same thing. All right, we'll get to that in a second, but that's definitely new. That's cool. Let's click out of that right now. And we're going to go to add media. So add media, we're going to click on configure. And you notice as I'm going through, everything that's being completed is going to be marked with a check. So you know right away if there's something that's incomplete, it's going to have this little like warning icon there, and it turns red. So very easy indicator that there's something missing. All right, let's move to add copy, or sorry, add media. So under add media, we have 2 options available. We have images and we have video. So depending on which one we're trying to promote, maybe we have a nice little virtual tour video, or maybe we really want to showcase some of the nice professional photography. You have the ability to do that because you can also add additional images. You can upload images as well. And you can see here, anything that's high res should only be a maximum of 3 megabytes. Typically, if you're pulling from the listing, it's going to pull in the images as well. So right now we do have the images pulled in from the MLS listing. So that kind of takes that load off of our shoulder, having to upload things. And we can just pull directly from the MLS feed. Now we do have some nice interior shots in here, so I do want to get some of those. This one had really awesome ceiling details. I like this one here, so we're going to use this. And we're going to click preview and crop. So I do like how it has that like nice little ceiling detail there. So the way that Facebook works currently is it has this widescreen crop. It does have square, which I usually don't recommend unless the image is actually more so like a portrait style, because it's not going to look good for these wide angle shots. So you can always keep it like this and then just try to crop it as best as you can or however you prefer. We'll hit save. And you can do this up to 3 more times, so you can have 5 of these essentially. And it will have a carousel effect. So as you can see, as it kind of runs through the ad, it will kind of auto scroll through. And let's go ahead and select some additional images here. We're going to go ahead and choose one of these. Is there a kitchen one here? We'll just use one of these. Okay, let's just crop that a little bit. And then I'll just use one more. We'll use one of these backyard shots, perhaps. All right, awesome, looks good. We'll hit save. So now we have the media we want to use. Again, if you preferred video, you can also do that. My recommendation with video is always to keep it under 30 seconds. You got to realize people on the internet, they have a very, very low attention span. So anything above, if it's like a minute long, they might only watch like 15 seconds of it at most. So keeping it under 30 seconds, if it's like a virtual tour clip or a slideshow video, that would be way more effective as an ad versus a clip that might be a minute long. Minute long is good for like your regular posts, but I think anything for a sponsored post under 30 seconds.
Chris, how do you feel about putting a 3D Matterport tour link on this, or do you prefer to have them contact you to get more information? Thanks.
So I think a workaround for that is that you could create a landing page and then have the Matterport embedded. I believe I have a video, not that I have done, but I've seen where there is a way where you can take the embed code from the Matterport tour and then pop it into a landing page. And you can have the Matterport actually be embedded in the landing page with the property information. So it's almost like a single property website that's
Right.
connected with your command database. And then you can lead them to that as well. I think that would also be pretty effective.
Great idea. Thanks.
Yeah. So if I find that video clip, I'll send that to you. One other way I know people are working around that, specifically with Matterport, is that they're recording a video of themselves walking through that home with the Matterport. And then they're taking that video, uploading it to YouTube, and then they're using that video link in one of the video widgets, because you can use a video widget on the landing pages as well.
Cool, thanks.
So that's just a workaround I know about. But if I find the Matterport landing page kind of workaround, I'll send it over. So currently we do have our images available here. We have the 4 that we've chosen for this property. Looks good. Now, it does require a DBA logo. As you can see, if I zoom in a little bit, there is a little kind of like a watermark there, and that is going to be required. So if you don't already have your logo in your command profile, in your Connect profile, you do have to add it. And if you click on this link here, it will take you to the place that you can find them. And all you would have to do is scroll down the Market Center logos. You can search for, whatever the Market Center is. I'm using Park Views as an example. You can download that zip file, and then you will have those high-res logos on your computer. Very useful, especially if you're going to be working with a graphic designer, or if you're going to be doing any sort of marketing pieces. You'll definitely need the set of logos. Cool. So let's just go back again. If you ever need to find those or access those logos, They're on KW Connect, and you can also click here to find them. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save add media now. We're good to go with that. And now we're going into our channel options, and that's going to include the Facebook ad and then the duration and budget. So let's go ahead and click Facebook ad. And we're going to go ahead and where it says page. Now it has my personal account connected. And from my personal account, it's going to scan what business pages I currently manage. So don't be alarmed if you see that your personal page is connected. It's only using it because it's scanning your account to see what pages you manage. So in that case, if I click this drop down here, it's going to show you all the different pages that I currently manage under my personal profile. So I'll just use this one here. We'll use the City Views one as the example. Now, and it looks like what it's done is it changed it. So this isn't available. We'll just change it back to learn more. All good. So by default, it will typically select use lead gen form. And what does the lead gen form do? So basically what it's going to do is if I am seeing this sponsored post on my timeline, so I'm just kind of scrolling through my timeline, I see your ad, I click on your learn more button. What it's going to do, it's going to actually bring me to a secondary card within the ad. And it's going to say, it's going to have my information pre-filled from Facebook, and there'll be a submit button there. So the submit button is going to submit that information to you, which would then carry it over into my command database. And then from there, it's going to lead that person to whatever my follow-up destination URL is. So I mentioned before, it can be a landing page. It could be that single property page we were talking about. It could be a link to my app. It could be a link to my website. It could be a link to a contact page. So it could be essentially a link to anything. I always suggest, having it link back to somewhere within your KW ecosystem. So like your website or your app or a landing page you created. That way you're kind of keeping those people within your sphere or bubble. Virtual tour links are okay too. But I highly suggest the landing pages or websites or your consumer app. So you could manually copy and paste something in here, of course. You can also use this option here. It says choose site. And currently I have a drop down here with a bunch of options available to me. My agent site page, my download my app link, some of the landing pages I would have created in the past, my contact page. I'm going to use that one for now. So this is going to be my contact page. Now let's say like hypothetically, I created a landing page for this property. And actually what I could do is I'm going to do something here. We're going to go to my website. And I'm going to actually search for this property address. And sorry, I forgot 252 Grace Ave. Let's go ahead and search. Here we go. Here's the property, right? So I'm going to click on that. This is actually a link back to my personal website. I'm going to copy that. And again, this is going to have all the property details. I have the ability to either save this or ask my agent, which would essentially be a contact form for myself. They can schedule a video tour. So you see here, they can also, if they haven't already signed up to my website or app, they are essentially asked to be signed up. And then the other thing is that they can also do additional property searches. So they can be on my website looking at this property, scroll through and see other properties that they might be interested in, or they can just do a separate search altogether. So that's also very effective in my opinion. We're going to go ahead and just paste that in there. Great. So that will be the follow-up destination URL now. You'll notice that when we did that, if you saw before, there used to be a link underneath this text. So when you choose a lead form for your ad, it hides that. So they can't just go to it because they can see it right away. So this would actually require them to submit the information first. All right. So we have our first step done. We have our second step done, which is the destination URL and the type of ad we're trying to create. Now we have to do the targeting. So it defaults to the location of the property, which in this case is Secaucus, but we can also select custom settings and we can say we want to target somewhere else. I don't know what North End is. So if anybody knows what North End is, you can let me know. But we're gonna target. Let's say we're gonna target people relocating. So let's say we're gonna do New York, and this is gonna be a popular one in my opinion. A lot of people are relocating from New York right now, so if you're going to be doing any sort of specific relocation type targeting, I think New York is really a good place to start with, especially around here, because there's going to be a lot of people trying to move out of New York into more of a suburban area that's nearby. And Secaucus is right next to the train station, so that's huge. Radius, we have that 20-mile radius. I don't really suggest changing this too much. If you do any higher, I'd probably do like 25 to 30 miles. Any lower than 20 is going to make the reach very considerably less. And that's just kind of what Facebook suggests as well. So 20 miles, I would keep it like that. So down, we move out of our location targeting. We're good to go with that. Before I go into that, just to kind of give you a heads up what this target my database means. As you move into your database more into command and you're starting to populate those contacts with more information, you'll eventually be able to target them by your database. So instead of targeting a specific audience you created as a custom audience, you can target contacts in your database and they would receive that ad on their Facebook timeline. This is definitely dependent on the email on file, and I believe that they have to have a Facebook profile on file. It hasn't been very clear. I know the email is very much dependent on if it's targeted or not, because it depends on how they sign up to Facebook. But I just wanted to give a kind of like a brief heads up of what that was in case you were looking at that. And one other thing, it does have to be above 100 contacts. I believe it's 200 contacts in your database have to be the minimum before it even allows you to do that. All right, so anyway, we're going to target my audience here. We already have that set. Now we're going to do our expert targeting, which is essentially choosing the interest we want to do. So let's go ahead and hit add or choose interests. Now, don't be intimidated where it says expert targeting. We're all going to be experts. So basically all we're going to be doing is saying what type of interest would this particular person have if I was going to be targeting them? What would they be interested in? So a lot of like the most common ones will always be something like Zillow, because they will probably be doing some sort of home searching. We'll use Realtor as well. One question I get kind of frequently is if you can target by specific brokerages. You can't. So you can't do something like Coldwell Banker or Compass or any of those kind of brokerages right now. You used to a while back. They removed that, and I believe it has something to do with how the housing ads work now. So just as a quick heads up. Commuting, that will be a big one for sure. So let's do commuting. And, I would probably do at least 5 of these. And off the top of my head, I can't think of any other ones, but we can also use this drop down here for inspiration. So you can definitely go through here and you can choose ones that you think might be relevant to your audience. Another one I know is very popular or is effective, mortgage loans. And just as I hover over them as well, you'll see on the middle there, it says like audience size, interest, description. So it gives you an idea of how many people are actually in that audience and the description of what it exactly is. People who expressed an interest in or like pages related to mortgage loans. So if you're curious on how it's actually trying to find that, that's what it does. All right, let's get one more in here so we can move forward with this. Let's go ahead and find something here. Let's go ahead and I'll just choose investment. Let's go ahead and do that one as well. Cool. All right, so we have our interests now. We did our expert targeting. We did our custom audience. We have the destination URL set. We have the page set. We're good to go. We can go ahead and hit save Facebook ad. That's all set. Now, you'll notice here, everything is labeled in green. We're good to go. We're almost done. We're almost set for liftoff. Let's go ahead and choose our duration and budget now. So this is the last step that you need to complete. Obviously, it is already kind of auto completed for you, which it essentially sets a default. So you could hypothetically go up to here, hit publish campaign, and you'd be good to go. But let's say you want to change this. You can do that by clicking on these little calendar icons. And let's say we want to do a duration of about 15 days, or 14 rather, we'll do 15. And then maybe we want to increase our budget to $50. So now it's going to spend $3.33 per day, which is pretty good. You can also change this back if you want to change it to do 10 days, because then you'll notice it's going to spend more per day versus, trying to stretch that across multiple or more days rather. So in this case, if we do 10 days and we spend $50 for that total budget, it's going to spend up to $5 per day, which would essentially increase the amount of reach and potential leads we can capture in one day. So that's also very useful. It's effective. But if you want to expand this and have it just kind of stretch over multiple days, more than 10 days, it will stretch the budget out, as you can see, and it will spend up to $3.33 per day. I'm going to keep it at 10 days. There we go. And I'm going to hit save. Now, one other thing I also want to mention, they are still running a promotion at the moment where if you never created a Facebook ad before, if you spend $75, they'll give you a $25 credit back. So then you're essentially spending $50 on a $75 ad, which is pretty awesome. That's only open to people who never ran an ad before, though. So just as a quick heads up. Okay, so we are all set with this. I want to go ahead and click publish campaign now. And again, you can review your ad if you want, just to see what it's going to look like through the channels. So if I hit publish campaign, we hit create, and I'm not going to do it because I don't want to charge Patrick's card here. But if we hit create campaign, that's going to save our ad. It's going to put it into review, and then we would be all set with that. So that's basically all we have to do. And you'll notice here under status, this will change. It'll say in review or pending review. And that basically means that it's now gone from command and it's in Facebook's hands now. They're going to review it, make sure it's compliant. And typically within the day, the ad will start running. So one thing I forgot to mention, I should show, it does run the ad a day after, as you can see. So it is setting the ad for tomorrow, which is the 4th. So it's always going to run that ad a day after you create the ad because of that, that review process. So once it's out of review, it's going to go into active, and you can then continue to watch this and see what type of analytics you get. So it does give you some expanded analytics here. So your cost per impression, cost per click, your cost per lead captured. And, I've seen some lead capture numbers, average probably like $1, but I've seen it as low as like 60 cents per lead, which is pretty awesome. Depending on the areas that you're targeting. You have your cost per click as well, the cost per impression. if you're noticing that your cost per impression is a lot more reach than your cost per lead, it's probably because you had set it to the other ad type. So if I just go back here, I want to show you real quick. So here where it says use lead gen form again, if you selected this one on mistake, this one's going to give you more visibility to the actual learn more button versus the lead capture. So it's not going to actually capture any leads. It's just going to lead people to the link. And that's why you might see more reach versus leads captured or lead spend. So just as a heads up about that. Kim, what's up? See, you have a question.
All right, I was just trying to unmute. 2 questions. Well, one, FYI, I ran a paid ad and it gave me also an option to send the ad through a preview, like a pre-preview to see if Facebook had any issues before it went through its final review. So it did do that automatically. I don't know if that's something new. So it said it passed the pre-preview. Then I had, like you said, the pending review, and then it went really quickly actually to publish.
Really?
Yeah. Now this was like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago.
Okay.
Second
So
question.
maybe they had changed the way that the API works, because I never noticed that before. So that's good to know.
Yeah, it was weird because I've taken this class 3 times already, and I noticed that was different. Second, about the lead gen. So I did the learn more. Now I noticed I actually got my ad in my feed. So I clicked on learn more and it went to a page that said, it showed the information that I guess I gave to Facebook in 2008 when I joined. So it was all incorrect. I don't know if there's a way to change that. And then second, it gave me an option to like abort that whole thing and just say no. So would that explain why I got 66 clicks and only 10 leads that went through to command?
Yeah.
Okay. And then secondly, how do I get an alert? Because, I saw this guy the other day, he's like, you've got 30 seconds to reply to that lead. But unless I'm constantly checking Kelly or command, is there a way to get an electronic alert that a lead went into command?
Yeah. So there is, right now I know specifically for leads that are captured through command, you get a notification through the Kelly app. And I've gotten agents who tell me they haven't actually gotten any notifications through Kelly. So my suggestion would be, is if you're noticing that you're not getting any notifications, uninstall the app, reinstall it, because once you reinstall it, it asks you again, like if you want to receive notifications. And that should fix that, where if you're generating leads through here, it should give you the notifications right away.
Okay.
Because I get notifications all the time, whether it be me logging into my own website or if I'm missing tasks. So it definitely works. And I know for leads captured specifically, it is pretty much instant. So try doing that first. And if you notice it's still not working, let me know. I'll see if there's anything else I can kind of like dig up on that.
Okay, thanks. So there's no way to avoid that screen when you click learn more that would just go right into command, to capture the lead without them?
There is. So if you recall, when I was going through the ad, if you set it to be a site or landing page, this would bypass the lead gen form and it would bring them directly to your follow-up link. So in that case, they wouldn't have to sign up for anything. They would just be brought directly to the site. And that would bypass that whole sign-in screen.
But then how do I capture their information?
So the only way you would be able to capture it is if they actually, if you have them on your website and they sign up on your website, that's one way you can capture it. Or you can keep them here and you would just be capturing their information as a Facebook lead.
But, that screen that I mentioned where it says, you can cancel.
Yeah.
There's no way to get rid of that, right?
No.
No. Okay. So it's only if they click.
I know you were mentioning that it had some of your old information. I believe you can edit it. I've seen those ads before and it gives you, it does autofill it. but it does also let you change it if there's something incorrect. But I know most likely people who are doing that might just click right away, like, and not even think about it. So
Okay.
that might also happen sometimes with the leads, but in any case, it would allow you to change that information if it's not current.
Okay.
Because I've definitely clicked through ads I've seen through Facebook where it requires my information, and I mean mine is right now, but if it wasn't, I would just change it through that.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
yeah, that would probably answer that for you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Cool. All right, so I'm hitting my 15-minute mark here. That's 1:45. So does anybody have any additional questions? Okay, cool. So I do want to just cover real quickly because I have a little bit of time. I did want to go through the direct mailing piece, but I might just do that as a separate class. So I'm going to show how you can create your regular Facebook social your social posts rather through command. So we just completed a sponsored post, but let's say we don't want to have a sponsored post. Maybe we just want to create some content to kind of fill out my business page. So I did mention on the dashboard here, we do have some of those quick posts, which is really cool. And we can shuffle between these as well. And, you know, let's say I like this one and I want to use that as a Facebook post. So as you can see, it does give me some of the copy already, and I can shuffle between that as well. And let's say I'm good with that. I like this, like the text on that one. I like the image. Now you can also use your own images, but again, because it's a quick post, it's really just meant to kind of fulfill that for you without having you go and upload things. So in this case, I'm going to use that image. And now all we have to do is select the page we want it to go to. We can schedule that in advance, as you can see. We can also have it publish immediately. And we can also preview it. So if you want to see what that little post looks like, looks pretty good. I like it. Clean. And what we can do is hit publish, and that will go directly to my Facebook page. Now, let's say we didn't want to do a quick post. Maybe we want to just create a whole post from scratch. We can do that as well. We can go to social post up here. And I like this a lot. It's set up like a calendar. So if we do month, you'll see that I have a calendar of all the different days in the month. And let's say I wanted to post something this coming Monday or this Friday even. Maybe we're having an open house, a virtual open house this weekend. We can do Friday. And now it's going to set up something for Friday, as you can see. And let's say we're going to do, you know, virtual open house this Saturday, 12 to 2 p.m. And then we say something like 123 Main Street. And then I'll say something like sign up at the link below to reserve your spots. And then maybe I'll post a link to a Zoom or something. Then what I'm going to do is we're going to choose some content for that. And we can do that by simply either uploading an image, we can upload a video. Maybe I have a nice virtual tour video I want to use, or I want to showcase the Matterport, or maybe I want people to come to the virtual tour to see the Matterport. But if I want to just choose a design, we can go to browse, and I can say I want to use something like, we'll use this one. So this is also really nice because you can create the graphic, as you can see, and we can just crop that. So this would just be my my graphic that I want to use for this particular post. And we can preview that as well, as you can see, nicely set up. And once we're done, we could hit schedule, and then that's all set. So that's going to allow you to create your posts on Facebook directly through command. And then you can schedule them, as you can see. I can schedule however many I want in advance. And I can even do like a whole month's worth of posts and be done with it for the whole month. So I find that to be very useful. And again, This is something that if you're familiar with Hootsuite where you have to pay for it, you don't have to pay to use this. So that's very, very, very useful. And I think it's a good value add as well. Cool. Does anybody have any other questions? Awesome. Let me see if there's anything in chat. Oh, we lost cats and kittens. Where'd they go? Anyway, I think we can wrap up now if unless anybody has any additional questions. Again, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to stop in here. I do have this recorded, so I will be posting it on YouTube a little later today. Angela, you had a question I just saw. Is social posts for personal or business pages? For this particular feature right now, it's only for your business page. So think of it as your kind of like your scheduling tool for your Facebook posts, but it's only for your business profile. It's not for your personal. Cool. All right. Awesome. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Wednesday. And again, you can always reach out to me if you have questions. And again, I do have this recorded, so I'll have it posted later. And I will see you all soon. Take care.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Chris.
Chris.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye, you too.